Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So here's just another outdoor video, and I've talked about, just kind of like treasure sifting and fossil sifting and just kind of looking around for cool objects and stuff like that before on the channel, but I've never actually documented like an actual true time dedicated to it. So what we have here is we have a tree that has fallen down, and as you can see, it's been completely uprooted, and there's a big clump below it. There's two other trees beside it fallen down. Now let me just quickly explain something about a site like this. So as you can see, that tree was most definitely a couple hundred years old when it fell down. Perhaps this happened when this place was logged, but either way, whether it fell down through natural causes or happened from machinery, from logging, that hasn't, all the trees around here that you see now are at least 50 to 100 years old. It's second growth, but they're still at least 50 to 100 years old. So that means that this tree, at the age it was, and by the rot just in the roots that are exposed, and in the tree itself, it's almost, on the other side, it's almost completely gone. It's almost just turned into soil. So I'd say that asides the soil that's right at the top that's been exposed for quite a while now, digging down a little bit deeper, the soil down there would be roughly, well, hundreds of years old if you wanted to go on like a geographical scale, but if you're just talking about the tree itself in, human or animal activity around the tree, I'd say within the time it's been fallen over, that it has been the same amount of time since they logged this place, or like whether it's from logging or not, I'd still say roughly around the same time frame as when it was logged, so 50 to 100 years ago. So just imagine, work people walking around here, big gear on all the time, personal objects and sorts like that in their pockets and stuff like that. The odd thing might fall out, the odd thing might get lost. Hikers like me, or people, coming out into the wilderness for, adventure-based things, a lot of times we carry tons of stuff with us, and, the odd time we lose some stuff, which can either suck or not be a big deal or whatever, depending on what it is. But the thing is that when there's baby trees, or when a tree isn't fully grown yet, say it is aged to a certain degree, but it is not fully grown yet. When things like that, or, animals dying, or, animals leaving things, whatever, in the time that the tree grows, roots grow bigger, and they grow out of the tree trunk, starting on top of the soil, and work their way down. So all kinds of things, really, just in nature and from us, gets grabbed by tree roots and ultimately ends up growing sometimes inside the trunk of the tree, and is just entangled in as you can see, the clump of soil where the trunks are. So to make a long story short, there could be absolutely nothing, there could be something. It's just like any excavation, it's just like any dig or treasure hunt or anything like that, right? Scavenger hunt, whatever. But, to me, these are really, well, especially they're all over the place here, but they're very interesting sites for excavations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop my camera up, and I'm just going to show you, I'll be here for a while excavating it, but I'm just going to show you just a few shots of my progression throughout the day of working on this. And, yeah, hopefully it'll be kind of an interesting video. As you can see, our site's set up quite well. I got movies and supplements. Alright, well, let's start our... So let's see what happens with our first shot at the dig. So, I like just to find an alright resting spot. I got a perfect rock to use. And so, more or less, I like to start small and then start working my way up to larger holes and sections. never know what kind of actually living creatures might be, you know, hutted away in these little caverns too. Okay, it looks like we've reached a little bit of clay. It's always a good sign. So that's just a quick sample of, this is just basically sifting through dirt, just seeing if anything, you know, catches on, you know, feels a bit more abrasive than just a normal dirt or a rock that'll tumble down or something like that. You know, look for little tiny fragments of things, stuff like that. So I've spent some time just sifting like I was before, but then as you can see all up here down to here, I disturbed a lot of that. I churned up a lot of the soil. So now all of this is sort of like a pile, like I explained to you before, that was at the bottom, but it's all from up here at the top. So it's all just clumps that have just been churned around. So what we do now is we just take clumps of it, you know, kind of form them into a ball. And again, just do some more sifting with your fingers through it. There's something large here. And it's just a rock. There's something different. Wood. So, not a lot availed yet, but now I'm going to move on into the root system here as its own kind of little tunnels and caverns there, and rocks that have been jammed in there for a long time that I'm going to haul out and see if we can see anything interesting in here then. So I've been at this one for quite a little while now and haven't found anything, so I'm thinking whatever is in here, if there is anything, must be quite deeper, or this one has nothing, which is not surprising at all. It is a patient game after all. But as I said, I'm just going to explore a bit more of the root systems up here. Well, after quite some time of excavating this site, we've found nothing. But I wouldn't write this off quite yet, because that soil still goes down a long ways, and those root systems still go in tons, and there's dirt embedding through all of it. So perhaps the site is worth coming back to, and now that the soil's been churned up, having a bit of extra head start at going at it some more. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it's what this video generally is about, and what this day is generally about is, it's always fun to be out here. It's always great to be out here. It's always nice and relaxing to be out here. And, you know, it really just adds, I don't know what you'd call it, atmosphere, I guess, to your whole experience outdoors, if you have something to look for. Like, if there's something, like, you know, rather than, I mean, it's nice just to come out and chill too, but if you have something to actually keep your eye out for, you naturally, I think, tend to explore around a lot more, and, you know, just have your mind just get set to something, and you have a good experience just being out there looking for something. So that's what this is all about. I mean, it's always cool if you find something, whether it's valuable or not, just if it's something kind of cool or whatever. And it always kind of sucks if you don't find nothing. But this site isn't a complete write-off yet, and there's many other ones like it that I'm going to be covering on the channel eventually. So with that said, thank you very much for watching my video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something.